Hello friends, my name's Emile. Now, I've never really been a fan of the Porsche Boxster. There's nothing wrong if you like it, but for me it's always just seemed like the car a rich hairdresser would drive. However, I am a fan of its hardtop cousin, the Cayman. Introduced in 2006, the Cayman was instantly hailed for its driving dynamics and was considered to be one of the best sports cars of its time. The Cayman entered its second generation in 2012, and this model here, the GTS, began production in 2014. At the time, it was the fastest model of Cayman available, although it has now since been surpassed by the Cayman GT4. On paper, the Cayman statistics aren't particularly exciting. It has a mid-mounted 3.4 litre flat 6 engine that throws out 340 horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque to the rear wheels. In the world of modern sports cars, the Cayman seems a little underwhelming. However, it does only weigh 2,965 pounds, which is quite light, and that means the Cayman can propel itself from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.3 seconds, and go on to a top speed of almost 180 miles per hour. And then we get on to the way this thing drives. It's fantastic. Firstly, it handles great, with good amounts of turning grip and a relatively well behaved rear end which only really slides out if you push the car to its limits. The brakes are equally good, meaning you can be late on them should the need arise. Straight line speed is also pretty decent for this classic car. However, the main reason I like the Cayman so much is just because of how much fun this car is to drive. It is easily one of the most fun cars in its class, if not in the entire game. Chuck it into a corner and just let the tail drift out. The brilliant thing with the Cayman is that it's very predictable, allowing you to have lots of fun without crashing. The car's chassis feels so active and adaptive. When driving it seriously, the Cayman is great, no denying that. But if you want to have huge amounts of fun, get yourself a nice twisty track like Virginia here, and just go for it. Believe me, you will have a hoot in the Cayman. Still, it's time to see how it competes on the Top Gear track. Okay, we are underway in the Cayman GTS. Now, in terms of times, I'm expecting this to go around the BMW M4, Lexus RCF. They're the sort of sports cars this car needs to compete with. Anyways, into the first corner, braking a bit late, obviously due to those fantastic brakes. Comes around the first corner, a little bit of sliding action, of course, nothing I can't handle due to the fact that the Cayman chassis is so well sorted, it's amazing. Coming around the second corner, I did have some issues through here. I tried going through first gear at first, but first gear is a bit too limited, and as soon as you switch up to second, the back end just flies out. So I did that whole corner in second. It did induce a bit more understeer, however it kept the car a bit more settled. Going through Hammerhead, looks fairly clean, looks fairly quick. Little bit of sideways action on the way out, but again, nothing really major. Of course, the Cayman is very, very easily controllable. Now coming on to the follow through, must be very quick through there. Of course, the Cayman is well sorted when it comes to its handling, so it should not be much of an issue to take 100 miles an hour through there. Coming through the tyres, looks relatively quick, very, very late on the brakes into the second to last corner, clips the apex beautifully, and coming around the last corner, cornering pretty flat, and across the line. The Cayman GTS goes into 66 with a 120.231, which is actually pretty quick. It beats out an Aston Martin DB7, 1999 Dodge Viper, Ferrari 575 and Maranello. Yeah, that is a very, very quick time. Does lose out to the F-Type R and the Jaguar XKRS, but this is a B-Class car, and it's in with all of the A-Class cars. In fact, I believe this may be the quickest B-Class car we've ever had round the track. So ultimately, what do I think of the Cayman GTS? Well, I think it's utterly superb. If you have not driven this car yet and you've got the Porsche pack, what are you doing? Jump in the Cayman GTS, give this thing a drive. I promise you, it will really surprise you. Anyway, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching this review, and until next time, farewell.